Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello, guys. Just another podcast. Let's go straight away to it. So, first of all, I would like to say that for the past week, the results are very good. So, nothing to discuss on that point. Everything is doing pretty well with my accounts. Every account has recovered. So, doing pretty well. Started also some new projects, and they are doing well. So that's for it with the news of the week. Let's go immediately to the topic. The thing is that I'm seeing some new settings, basically. This is why I also put this dramatic thumbnail. I feel like Meta wants to do a transition to all of our Facebook ad accounts so that we won't have a lot of room to check this or tweak this, tweak that, and play a little bit with the settings. Now the new thing that they have announced and it's being shown in several accounts. It's not necessary to do it, but still it shows their idea of how they want the platform to be used. It's the audience, Advantage Plus audience. So from now on, because Advantage Plus was a successful thing as a campaign, everything it's going to be named Advantage Plus. I think they have also copyrighted the phrase also Advantage Plus, and now they're using it so that everybody can think that this is a good thing also. So we went from the campaign budget optimization to Advantage Plus budget. We went to automatic placements to Advantage Plus placements. Now we go to the audiences to Advantage Plus audience. It says, by searching within a broad audience, our system has more opportunities to get results. Our ad technology uses available conversion data to improve performance. Basically, it says, don't do any targeting with interests or whatever, and we will find out the way, even in a broad targeting, of giving you the best possible results. Does it need a trained pixel? We don't know. But what we know is that Facebook always wanted to have a platform that is going to work like this. What is this? By this, I mean that somebody who doesn't know how to do Facebook ads, they plug in the pixel. This is how it used to be. They go immediately, they do ads, they have some preset settings. It's working flawlessly. Bada boom, bada bum. You have success. You have more people coming, advertising. So it's a plug and play, as we used to call it. Then we had some things like the iOS and all of these problems, and Facebook switched it to other kind of settings so that people can be able to advertise, but it made it super complicated. So I believe now they go to the counter offense and they want to produce again a platform, to make again the platform super friendly for anyone to use. If you could just press the boost button and Facebook would find you sales, that would be ideal for them, because it makes it more easier for them to do it like this. They have more control. Secondly, they are not going to need so much customer support for the different settings and things. And third, which is the most important for me, everybody would do it, because some people they cannot afford to pay Konstantinos or someone else, or they are not tech savvy enough to go and learn the platform, but they will just go and press a button like they used to do with the boost button options. Now, this is the new options, and I'm seeing it more and more with more settings here and there. And I think that, as I said earlier, with Advantage Plus and everything, we are going through a transition that is going to be more oriented to creatives and to copies, instead of playing with the settings. And Facebook then is going to control everything and give you the results that they think that the results that you deserve. Do we like that? As a marketeer, I don't like it, because I don't have control on how Meta is going to spend my money. On the other hand, they have proved with Advantage Plus that they can do it efficiently. The truth is that as long as this is profitable, it's going to be fine. Am I worried that we're going to be left out of? No, I don't think that anything like that is going to happen. Still, there are going to be advanced ways of doing ads, but we haven't tested yet all of these Advantage Plus audience and stuff to see, for example, in a new pixel. Right now, if you use Advantage Plus, it's not working properly. would you have to go through the process of burning a lot of money in order to train your pixel and then it's going to work with Meta? I don't know. We have all of these kind of things for new pixels, especially in new ad accounts and everything, because in older ad accounts with trained pixels, whatever you're going to do with broad targeting and stuff, your pixel is strong enough to support you, and you have also better quality traffic because you are a long established ad account. That's the update about it. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I'm going to update you with videos if these settings are working. But now we're through the phase that Meta is just doing this into some ad accounts and then to more ad accounts based on the feedback that they're going to get. The whole concept here is that you're not obliged to do it. But I think that eventually, like the shops, Meta is going to impose these things, and it's going to, because they try to make the platform as easy as possible as they can. Let's go now to another topic that came to my attention. Basically, Meta had a program that it was all about having 10% or 50% cashback from when you spend in specific countries and with specific currencies, something like that. And the main provider for that, it was HTT Pool, which you can go and you can research it. But they have realized that HTTP Pool, they were stealing them. So yes, Meta is ending its contract with HTTP Pool. The company announced on June 6, 2023 that it would be terminating its relationship with HTTP Pool effective immediately. The decision comes after Meta accused HTTP Pool of engaging in click fraud and other malicious activities. Because whenever somebody is giving to someone a percentage or a cashback or whatever, I'm sure there's always going to be clever people that they will find ways of stealing Meta or the government or whoever is giving these cashbacks. In a blog post, Meta said that it had found evidence that HTTP Pool was engaging in click fraud and other malicious activities on our platform. The company said that HTTP Pool was using bots and other methods to generate fake clicks on Meta ads. This activity cost Meta millions of dollars in lost revenue. Meta said that it has tried to work with HTTP Pool to address this issue, but the company had refused to cooperate. Typical. As a result, Meta decided to end its relationship. It's one of the few companies that I have seen that had the balls to say, no, we're not going to be blackmailed by you, Meta. The termination of Meta contract with HTTP Pool is a major blow to the company. It's a major player in the online advertising industry, and its loss of Meta as a client is a significant setback. It is also a sign that Meta is taking a tough stance on click fraud and other malicious activities. I don't believe that. The termination of Meta's contracts with HTTP Pool is also a reminder of the importance of online advertising fraud prevention. Businesses that rely on the right advertising need to take steps to protect themselves from fraud. This includes using fraud prevention tools and working with reputable advertising partners. Why am I saying all of that? HTTP Pool was one of the main, it is still, but it was one of the main, it is one of the main providers for ad accounts for agencies. So a lot of agencies that they're giving ad accounts to others and so on, they were using this, they were using HTTP Pool. So my guess is that we are going to have a lot of advertisers going away from the platform because of that, or they will have to create their own ad accounts. The reason that they were using HTTP Pool is because in many cases they didn't have their own ad accounts which were seasoned. They didn't have the ability to have a new ad account because they were banned before. They were from third countries that it was difficult to have accounts with credit. Many reasons. So even if some are going to create their personal accounts, fine. There are going to be a lot that they're not going to create. So we will have a lot of advertisers that they are going to be left without ad accounts. I'm not saying that there are not going to be any solutions to that. I'm sure there are going to be. But I know for a fact that a lot of advertisers are going to stop maybe because of that until they find a solution, which means that we are going to have lower CPMs. And then it says a message. All ad accounts from most e-com guys are on HTTP Pool. Is the agency account provider. On short term, no difference for us, but if everyone's ad account goes offline, it's probably much less competition on short term, so lower CPMs. But the cashbacks of 10% are gone, but this can only benefit us if I look at it. That's a comment below. So basically, the situation is that if all of these advertisers are going to go away from the game, maybe we're going to see much lower CPMs. I cannot wait. It would be very nice to scale some more accounts, but we will see. That's the news. As I told you, when things are going good with the platform, I don't have a lot of news for you. And Meta is just doing some changes with the aggregate events and stuff. So all of the things they have been announced and now they are coming into effect. So not anything crazy. Let's go straight away to your questions. We don't have to do every time 1 hour podcasts. Now, I have a question here which says, Hi Konstantinos, is using Advantage Plus campaign working for new pixels? Advantage Plus campaigns are broad targeting campaigns, so a lot of times they're not going to work for new pixels. I have seen it, but I have seen also new ad accounts and new pixels working flawlessly well with Advantage Plus, especially catalog ads for some reason. So you should try them, but you should not stay on this option if you see that it's not serving you well and you're not having the results that you actually want. If not, go to traditional CBO campaigns with interest, then move to broad targeting. When you establish broad targeting, move to not broad targeting, lookalikes. Then when you establish broad targeting, you can start using again Advantage Plus. Most probably at this point they're going to be much better for you. Next question. Thank you so much, and honestly, that explains a lot. Like this has been my experience, and I've just been giving up on those creatives because they would generate sales then die. I'll keep relaunching the same ads. I just put this comment because I wanted to show you that my video about relaunching campaigns and not reinventing the wheel again and again and again, it's actually working. There are people that they were just having good campaigns working, and because their pixel is not strong enough or it's super new, they didn't have other options. So basically they were starting thinking of new targetings or whatever. But the truth is that if you just relaunch it, it's going to have the similar results, and then if it dies again, relaunch it again, and this is going to help you a lot to get your initial data, which are so important. So keep relaunching ads, especially with new pixels, and you will see that it's going to help you a lot as a strategy. You are going to keep having some good results for a period. Of course, it's going to keep dying, but eventually you will find the stability as long as you keep training your pixel. Then we go to Armando. Again, very informative, free content. Thank you, brother Konstantinos. I have a question with regards to your CBO crazy method. I ran it for 3 days and decided to kill those that don't have sales ad sets. My question is all about the budget. Should I adjust the budget in relation to yesterday ad spend as explained in your video? But that matrix was in 3 days optimization only, or I will not adjust the budget and wait for a full optimization, which is 7 days. I'm trying to find the answer on this question, but could not find it in your video. I only saw that you suggested budget to be balanced during turning off ad sets on 7 days optimization. I did not see during 3 days turning off with no sales ad set. Thank you for being here to answer this question. You're fun, Armando. Thank you very much, Armando, for your question. So basically, we are starting to adjusting budgets when we are left without ad sets that we want to give more budget. What do I mean? Let's say, for example, that we have the situation that we have a CBO campaign and we have inside 10 ad sets. Okay, after 3 days, we are seeing that 5 of the ad sets they have sales and 5 of the ad sets they don't have a sale. Okay, at this point, if we are seeing that these 5 ad sets they have a sales and the other 5 they have spent enough money, for example, if on the 5 ad sets that they have a sale, we're getting a sale on cost per purchase, for example, for $20. Let's say that the budget over here is $200. Okay, so if we're getting over here $20 cost per purchase, in our 5 other assets, 22, 23, one of them is having 30, whatever, and the other 5, they have 0 sales. They don't have any checkout, so we don't expect any sales to come later. They just have 0 checkouts, and they have spent, each of them, $18. Another one has spent 22, another one has spent 23. That means that we need to close the 5 assets that they don't have any sale and keep the other 5. Now that we have 5 assets that all of them they have sales, we need to adjust our budget, and then we're going to see that most probably the previous day they spent 100 something dollars, so we're going to lower our budget to a little bit more, as I say, so to 120. That's case number 1. Case number 2, we have our 5 winning ads, and then we have, for example, on the other 5 that they don't have a sale, one of them having 5 checkouts, so we're going to leave it so that we can see if it's going to have sales over there. We have another one which is having spend of 30. We have another one which is having a spend of 25, and another 2 would have a spend of $3 and $4. What can we decide? What are we going to do here? Here we're not going to adjust our budget. What we're going to do is that we're going to close the 30, the 25, and we're going to keep the one that seems that it has a lot of checkouts, and the 3 and 4, we're going to leave them because they're a very small budget, and now they're going to start taking budget from the budget that we liberated from the others. So this is one case that we're not going to adjust the budget in 2-3 days. If in 2-3 days you kept only the ads that they have sales and closed all the others, this is also an acceptable solution that you can do. And in that case, you can continue with these 5 by adjusting the budget and doing another campaign with new optimizations and a new budget. If you see that you have some of the ad sets that they don't have a sale, but still they haven't spent a lot comparing to the others that they got a sale, then you can close the ones that they spent some money, they took their fair chances, and liberate the budget for the others that they haven't. If you don't have these ad sets that they have low spend and you want to give them a chance, then you can just go and you can adjust your budget so that you can continue only with the ones that they have a sale. Another acceptable strategy is to don't care about the ad sets even if they have $3 or $4 as a spend. You don't care that they didn't spend a lot and they didn't get a fair chance, and you say, okay, I found my 5 ad sets, I want to focus to them. Another thing that I need to say on that also, which is coming also from experience, is that if you see, for example, that you have 5 ad sets and they spend $100, 5 ad sets are enough for you to keep it on the $200 because you're just going to spend a little bit more in all of them. But if you have just 2 ad sets that they have remained, that they have some good results, then you need to lower your budget in this campaign instead of leaving the 200 because maybe it's going to be too much budget for the 2 remaining ads that you have. So a lot of times you might also even go to the process of thinking that, okay, I can leave this budget without adjusting it because I have a lot of ads that they haven't spent a lot. But on the other hand, even if you want to close all the ads that they don't have any sale, you can come and you can say, okay, I'm going to leave this 5, but I'm going to leave also the same budget because there are enough assets to absorb all the budget, even the one which is going to be liberated. I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that you understood my examples. Let's go to the next question, to Maher. Hi Konstantinos, I started advertising from a new Facebook page because the old got permanently restricted. It's the same amazing ad account, but I'm getting 1 sale to no sales at all. I was on 52 sales a day in early May. Nothing is working, CBO, Advanced Plus consolidation, etc. What do you think is the reason? Can the restriction have this effect on connected accounts? Please advise, thank you. Now, we enter the realm of trying to understand without really knowing, okay? Sometimes it's the example that I like to give, that it's like you want to try to interpret God, but you cannot. We don't have this information from Meta, so we're speculating based on our experiences and things we heard from other people that we trust, because there's a lot of people that they are lying also, and so on. So the situation is this: when you're having a new page or a new ad account or whatever that may be, then you're not considered a stable advertiser that used to spend a lot of money, so you're not getting the best quality of traffic. Facebook is still hesitant with you and is not giving you the best quality of traffic because you're a new advertiser, and they're going to give this best quality of traffic to the ad accounts that they have good spend or they have good ratings on the page and so on. This is factor number one. Factor number two is that Facebook is more than capable of tracking that you got restricted to another page and now you're using another page. Although I'm not super worried about that, because I used to work in accounts that they were having their page restricted and we kept running on the same ad account, though, not another ad account. We kept running ads with other pages and stuff, and still it was working flawlessly. So I don't know about that. But for sure, if you're using another ad account or a page, especially the ad account for me is the most important, it can influence a lot your results because you're getting less quality traffic. Not to mention the pixel. The pixel is also important. Now, let's go to the next one. Another thing that I wanted to say here is that Meta, they announced that they have now a new thing which is called datasets. Basically, if you go to your business settings and you try to find your pixel, you won't be able to find it, and it's going to be a dataset under the datasets. I asked Facebook reps, but they don't know a lot about it yet. Basically, they say that this is going to be something that is going to involve I asked them, for example, is a dataset one combination of a pixel and an API? They didn't know how to answer and they referred me to some general articles, so we don't know yet about it. But datasets basically are going to be the new thing. We're not going to call them pixels and stuff. Even if you go now into your ad settings, you will see that it says datasets ID and not pixel ID or API. Next one. Konstantinos, thank you very much for the response. The ad account never got restricted and is mega healthy. Never reject ad. The page got restricted from advertising and I started advertising from a new page I created. So he's using the same ad account. I'm wondering if the page restriction affects the ad account and that's why nothing is working. Or did you mean to warm up the page? Facebook reps agrees we did nothing wrong, but should have requested a manual review instead of an automated, which resulted in the permaban. Thanks again, Konstantinos. If they were agreeing with you, they should go and lift the permaban. It doesn't make any sense for them to say that you are right and stuff and not do anything about it. To be honest with you, I don't think that having a Facebook page, I think that it's influencing when you're using an old Facebook page and now a new one, maybe it's influencing the results, but I don't believe that it's disastrous. Disastrous for me is using another ad account. So I don't know if you're doing anything wrong with your ads, but I don't think that the page is influencing so much, unless if you were using post IDs, for example, from the previous page. I don't know. But still, I think that the ad account would be the much more difficult thing. With I don't know now if it took your if the restriction of the page made your ad account having less score or anything. But I know that if you have the same ad account and even if you're using another page, by the way, on the example that I give, these pages pre-existed on the account because we knew that things might happen, so we had 10 pages. If you got restricted on the page and then you did another page, maybe it's wrong. But still, as I told you, all of these are speculations, okay? We cannot prove anything about it, but this is my input. I think that the ad account is much more important, and if you continue doing ads, eventually it's going to recover even with a new page. If you had a completely new ad account, it would be completely different. Hey Konstantinos, I was wondering if it would be a good practice whenever I launch a new post to send it to 30, 50 of my friends to leave a like to spike the initial engagement. Or does all engagement have to come naturally, meaning from people who saw the ad? It's not about the engagement coming naturally, but it's about the ideal avatar clients. So there's no point for an ad to have some engagement from people that are not going to buy from you. Instead of, even if they are friends, they're buying from you because they're your friends. They're not buying because they are the ideal avatar clients. So the whole point is to run it, have something. This is why I don't also like to boost it with engagement ads, because it's going to be people that they just engaged because this is the form of the campaign that we did. But if you have engagement from to a post ID from ads from conversions that they're looking for purchases, then it's much more powerful, because these are people that they are going to be really interested into your product. And because of the fact that when you're having a post, the first thing that Facebook does in order to define if a post is going to do well, or how much money to spend, or if it's to who is going to show it, is the engagement. Because the initial event, it's a purchase event, so it's not possible for Facebook to know who is going to purchase. So the first thing that it's looking is engagement. The initial engagement, if it's Konstantinos or someone else, it's indicating to Facebook who are the people that they're engaging with this post, so it's going to show it to more of them. And then they're going to convert. If they convert, then we start optimizing based on the conversion and trying to find people that are similar or they have same interests with the ones that they have converted to the event that you chose. Maybe it's a purchase event in that case. So showing it to people that they are not going to convert as an initial engagement, it doesn't make any sense, because it's showing the wrong data to Facebook in order to start looking somewhere to find a hot pocket of sales for you and a hot pocket of engagement that is going to lead up to sales. Next question. Hi Konstantinos, I have a local business. What Facebook strategy do you recommend for an untrained pixel? I use broad targeting right from the beginning with target audience about 300k people, working quite well using relaunching. However, I haven't been successful with crazy method so far. Any ideas? Thank you so much for your content. The crazy method is not going to work with all of you, we know that, but I'm truly amazed, to be honest with you, that it's not working in a local area, because the crazy method, to me, it has never failed in a local area. It has failed in other accounts with e-commerce and stuff, but when you have a local area and you're targeting 300k people, it's working. Maybe you do something wrong in your optimization. Maybe you're not putting the correct budget in the CBO, something like that. Watch again the videos and try to see what am I doing and how am I doing it. And you will get an idea from there. For example, if you're a local business and your service is very expensive, you need to look how much budget you're going to put in order to convert a client and so on. If you're having 300k people, it's a lead generation, and it's working with one ad set, it's going to work 100% with the crazy method, because it's such a small audience, and the crazy method is helping a lot on that. Other than that, if you have an untrained pixel in a local area of 300k people, it doesn't matter. You will go anyway in broad targeting. You can do nothing about it. This is the same issue with some countries that they have a very small audience. For example, if you target 1 million people, your whole full potential potential targeting is 3 million or 2 million or 1 million, you will do broad targeting since the beginning. You're not even going to use interest. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe later lookalikes, but even in a local area, I wouldn't use lookalikes in a local area. I would use maybe lookalikes of 10% in countries that are very small. So keep doing broad targeting, and I think that you should look again the crazy method, because I highly doubt that it's not going to work, especially for local area lead gen. Thank you for this video, bro Konstantin. Thank you, bro. My question is, if that CBO is optimized and it ran for a while and it has reached ad fatigue, should I add new creatives or just duplicate it and introduce more creatives? You should not, and I have made a video recently about it, you should not add CBO campaigns in terms of why are we doing all of that? Because we want to go to the point that we have our creatives that are working and we are seeing them and we are having a new balance with our new budget. There is no point for you to go and disturb a working CBO by adding new creatives or by doing changes or anything. If you want to do something, either duplicate this one and introduce inside in the new campaign that's going to start your new creatives, or do a new campaign with completely new creatives. It doesn't make any sense for you to go and touch a trained CBO campaign with data and everything and put new creatives over there, because they're not going to be tested efficiently. The CBO campaign has already decided where it's going to spend the money, so there is no point for you to go and add new creatives there, because they're not going to be tested efficiently. Don't forget, It starts with engagement, then it goes to conversion events. The new ads are going to start with conversion, with engagement. So they're going to compete with engagement, and the others are going to compete with the purchase events that they already have. Facebook is going to spend all the money to the conversion event because this is what you are asking from the campaign, the conversion event to be a purchase. So it's not a fair thing to do, and it's not fair also to do it inside Advantage Plus campaigns, and this is something that I have also created a video about. I think it was one of the most asked questions. Do I add new creatives inside the working CBO? Do I add new creatives inside the working Advantage Plus? It's not only it's not working in theory, but I have also tested it in some credits that Meta gave, and they were proposing to do it, and I can tell you that it was catastrophic, and it didn't work at all. I have a video about the background AI that I was having a credit about the background AI that Meta wanted to test, DALL-E from OpenAI. And they were having in one of the 3 scenarios that they gave the credit that you're going to introduce every week new creatives. It didn't work at all. It wasn't giving any budget to them. They were not having good results at all. And they have a video that you can see it, and it actually proves my point. The same thing is it is happening on the CBO campaigns, and you should not do it. Then we have in the next question. Hi, I'm from Bangladesh and I want to run a conversion or engagement campaign in different countries. But the problem I'm having that I don't know the CPM cost for other countries, so I'm seeking help to you. Can you please help on it? That how can I know the CPM cost for other countries? I'll be more happy if you can suggest me any articles or case studies. Thanks. First of all, and it's not because you're from Bangladesh, it has nothing to do with that. I don't like the mentality that you have. The mentality is that you want to know things before testing, so I'm against that. Also, I feel like you're a little bit lazy and you don't want to go and do the work, and you want to. So let's say that I'm telling to you Great Britain has 15 CPM. Are you going to believe me? What kind of question is this? When somebody is going to tell you something, you're going to believe them and you're going to take decisions based on that? No, you are going to run it, and this was my answer. You are going to run your ads, you're going to see the CPMs, and you're going to decide which countries you want to continue advertising to based on that, if this is the most important metric for you. Another thing, based on your niche, you can have different CPMs. I have ad accounts right now that they have $30 CPM on United States, and others that they have $4 CPM. It's the example that I gave you a lot of time with the Christian niche, that nobody can advertise now to the Christian niche because all the interests are gone, and you have only lookalikes or broad targeting for trained pixels. So it's like a monopoly. These people are getting $4 and $5 CPMs. But if you go and if you're advertise now to United States, even with this niche, you're not going to get this kind of CPMs because your pixel is not trained. So you cannot have an answer of how much are the CPMs in the different countries and stuff. You need to test it based on the different products that you have, on the different pixels, on the different niches, and then understand what kind of CPMs you can get based on the needs of the company, based on the period, and take the decision that you have to take, but not by asking strangers, even if they are experts, what kind of CPMs you can get to different countries. It's not professional, that's my issue with that. Then next question. Hey Konstantinos, is your paid course Facebook strategies for e-com still viable and updated to work given Facebook current ad platform? Interested in scaling up my e-com business and want to know if it would be a good investment. The answer is yes. It is updated. It's working also now, all the strategies and everything. A lot of things I'm also teaching within my YouTube channel as a free content. But I need to clarify something. The course is not there, and the same thing is happening also with YouTube. I'm not showing you blueprints to follow blindly and they're going to work no matter what. I'm showing you all of my strategies, all of my ideas, all of my mentality about Facebook ads, all of my philosophy, everything. so that you can adjust the strategies into your ad accounts, and they're going to work eventually with your pixels, your ad accounts, your funnels, your numbers, whatever. So my course is not oriented in like a blueprint, like how everybody is selling courses and stuff, but it's mostly oriented in teaching you how to think about Facebook ads, the different methods that they have and everything, implement all of them, see what is working for you, what doesn't work, and take it from there. It's not something that, look, it was working in 2022, it's not working now. It's something that's always going to work with Facebook, because it's something that is based on how Facebook algorithm is working, and this is never going to change. Okay? And this is the same way also that I do videos, the same way that I do podcasts, explaining how, what kind of mindset you need to have when you're working with your Facebook ads, and what you need to see in a course, and what you need to use and test, or test everything until you find a strategy that's going to work with you. This is also something that I do with ad accounts. I go into one ad account, it's a very old ad account, and I'm using only Advantage Plus campaigns. On another ad account, I'm using a mix. Another ad account, because it's new, I'm using only Crazy Method and Pinterest. And then another ad account, because we are past the phase of interest, I'm using lookalikes, or I'm going into another account that is having sales already from organic, so I'm going to use immediately lookalikes instead of interest and skip a step, and so on and so on. You cannot just say that this is going to work here, this is going to work there, and so on. You're just going to test it, and you're going to see. Let's go to my friend here who is back, 8 ROAS. I've stopped using LLAs for the last month because they were not working for me. Right now, I'm getting ready to relaunch them. Stack LLAs using the Crazy Method has produced the best ROAS for my account, but for some reason they stopped working. I tried creating new custom audience. Yeah, this is also another case. You might have one of my strategies working for you for a period, then it's going to stop. This doesn't mean that for you are never going to test it again. Maybe in 2 months, 3 months, you're going to test again, it's going to work. At the end, regular broad targeting was producing way better results, maybe because you passed the phase of the lookalikes now and your pixel is much better and it wants the broad targeting. I hope they work this time. I hope not. I hope that they're not going to work for you and you're going now to focus into Crazy Method broad targeting instead of stacked lookalikes. I gave them some time to update. Have you had experience your LLAs not working for a period of time? There are the cases that you go to ad accounts and the more they are getting data to the pixel, the broad targeting is working better than lookalikes. It makes total sense. And there are the cases that the strategy just is going to just stop working in one ad account for any reason. But from time to time, I would test it again. In my opinion, if you pass the phase of lookalikes and now you're in the phase of broad targeting, I think you should stick only to broad targeting. Don't even do lookalikes and just focus on that. You have the Crazy Method for broad targeting. Start initially from the smaller broad targeting, like the ages and the gender that is working for you, and then move to completely broad and just care about your creatives. If I hope that you are in that phase. There's another one. I'm not having a print screen because it happened before we started the podcast. I have a video about how you can recover a deleted campaign, and there is a comment over there that says, can we this way that you show how to recover a deleted campaign to restore also the engagement on the campaign? The answer is no. The whole reason that this video is there is for people like me that they do a lot of work with ads. If you do any mistake and you delete your campaign, I'm not talking about drafts, I'm talking about published campaigns. If you delete your campaign, you're using all of your progress. So, or maybe you had one campaign that it was working and you deleted it and you just want to use the same settings and you're bored to create it all over again. This way is showing you how to create this campaign without doing all of the work to create it from scratch. And it's not about restoring engagement or other things that you're going to lose if you're going to delete one campaign. That's all of your comments. I think that I went too fast today with everything. Let's go and let's see our freelancer diary for today, which is a little bit big. It says, wedding salon lead generation. This job was created on 2019. It was only for July. 8.5 hours, $4 per hour. The bill was $34. Look all of this drama now for $34. I took this job for the chance at a review and not the pay of $4, of course. I live in the United States, so as you can imagine, $4 an hour is well above minimum wage in my state. The client wanted leads scrapped from wedding websites. She provided directions to another website, maybe one that had leads just sitting there where you could copy them, I guess it says. I don't know. She hired me for 1 hour to see if I could do the job. I quickly realized almost none of the company bios she wanted me to scrape had any contact info whatsoever. I completed the task by doing extra research, going to their website, social LinkedIn, and digging in the website code to get her the contact information she requested. I gave her a lead list from that particular city and informed her on how I had to go about getting them. She said I did a good job and hires me again for the same task, new city search. I again do all the same research. This city had absolutely zero contact on bio pages, so it was all research. I turned in the work. She comes back to me stating I need to give her 30 leads per hour, which was never stated before, and quite frankly impossible per the way I had to find them. I tell her this and explain why. She does not care, and I assume refuses to look at the documented screenshots Upwork takes when you are working, and demands a refund. We're talking now about $34, okay? I tell her again my process, which she is aware of. The fact that she was asking for isn't possible, and I couldn't have known as she never told me prior. But she does not care. I assume I will get a bad review in response, but not refund her out of principle. I don't care about the $12. I want others to know what they're getting into with this client. I worked as far as I could and did the best job I could, not for the money, but for a good review. And you got f***ed off eventually. So, what did the client say about that? We have a ballpark rate at which we could like our freelancers to generate leads for us. Unlike the many others we hire, her name is Ashley, did not meet the standard. When communicated that she had logged too many hours, we're talking about 8.5 hours, by the way, and we're talking about $34, okay? One wedding can give them $1,000, $2,000, and I'm not even saying a lot. She responded aggressively and was not willing to work at a compromise with us. Basically, all of this drama, guys, happened for the compromise would have been to remove 2 hours, $8, or most probably she's talking about $12. So I'm talking about 3 hours. So they want to pay her for 5.5 hours, and she wanted to get paid for 8.5 hours because she put the job and stuff. My suggestion to you is this. There is no point of doing all of that to get a good review, in my opinion. Just do the work that you have to do with the people that you have to do. And in my opinion, Ashley, if you just wanted to do it for a good review, then you should have even refunded them the money. So the thing that I'm doing this job no matter what to get a good review, and I'm not skipping the drama for $12, which is not going to change anything for you, even if they are the most idiot people in the world and they don't care about the fact that it's only $20. Why did you do it at the first place? Anyway, that's my Freelancer Diaries drama that I found in one of the jobs over there, and I wanted to share it with you. That's all I had for you today, guys. I tried to make it as fast as I can because I have other things to do also. So I will see you in the next week. Be creative, be consistent, guys, and I will wait your new questions to answer all of them in the next podcast. Bye. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.